Hello, everyone. My name is Carranza, and I am the founder of Transformation Through Reunification. I am also a court approved expert witness in reunification. I'm an expert in CFT meetings. I am an expert in supervised visitation. I'm also a court ordered advocate for families that are in dependency court. And I was a victim of CPS. My daughter was falsely removed, illegally seized without a warrant on false allegations. And now I have decided to make this my life's mission, and I help other parents and give other parents a platform. I'm traveling, so it's not my normal background for my regulars, but I wanted to come on today for all those parents that didn't or don't have their child today on this holiday. Holidays are really, really hard. Well, let me take that back. Every day is really hard. Holidays are even harder because you get to see everybody doing their thing. No Easter baskets. You didn't get to do Easter egg hunts for your own children. So you're just kind of sitting there. So I wanted to come on today, like I do on all holidays, and give a parent a chance to tell her story. Because as we all know, there's no talking in dependency court. They take our children and tell us to shut up. So I'm going to let anybody and everybody who wants to come on and speak. But for today, right now, I have a friend of mine, and she's going by AW. So her case is still currently active where she lives, and that's why we don't see her, but we can hear her. So
thank you, Erin. Thank y'all.
And hi, welcome.
Thank you, Erin. And I hope that everybody's having a really good Easter. One thing I'm going to say is I feel for every parent that doesn't have their kids today over CPS and the corruption. You put it in perfect terms. My story is long and lengthy, but in a nutshell, I feel for moms and dads. And this is a hard battle.
It's the most traumatic thing. It's the most traumatic thing.
It's hard. Is it not? Like Erin today, was a really hard day.
It was, and leading up to holidays are also very, very hard because you have all of the pre-holiday stuff, like say, for instance, Easter, because that's what we're on. There's no dyeing of color and coloring of eggs. There's no hiding them. There's no going and getting your child a basket. I know you can do that when you see them next, but it's not the same. So the whole build up,
and you miss all those birthdays. You miss the birthdays. You miss the Christmas. You miss, today is Easter, and happy Easter, everybody. By the way, God is good. He still exists. I believe in God. I am a Christian. I'm an Episcopalian. Born and raised. That's okay if someone disagrees, but at the same time, while we're still here on earth, we still have a right to fight for our kids. And I will not give up that battle. And I know there's a lot of parents out there too that had a hard day today, and I just want them to know they weren't alone.
Yeah, it's much harder than people realize. It's not, a quick, let me take away your children and you do what I say and you get them back. It is beyond traumatic, just the removal itself. And they expect us to be robots. They expect us to not have anything to say about it. I was told if I cried, I'd go to jail. So my thing always is I'm concerned about the parent that's not making a fuck of, that's not making a ruckus.
You told me not to use the F word.
I caught myself. So my concern is the parents that are not putting up a fight for their children. Those parents are the parents that I would be concerned about as a judge. Not the parents.
I actually have some people that I know. So I'm a businesswoman. I'm not going to expose myself right now. I will come the end of May. I'll do another live with you, but I can't expose myself because it'll hurt me in this small little tiny East Texas county that I'm in.
Right, and you're not done yet, and you have trial coming up. So you wanted to get on here to tell your story about what happened, your initial removal.
I lost my oldest 2 children over this crap.
Right. And
I'm allowed to say crap, aren't I, Aaron?
You can say crap. You can say crap. But the thing is that we are not allowed to speak about this. We're not allowed to talk about it. It's hushed up. They tried to make us feel shame about it. So I want to make sure that nobody feels shame when you're going through this, because that is used to isolate you, is they want you to feel shame.
Can I ask you something, Aaron, right now? My father's trying to add you right now so he can see this. Do you mind?
Oh, I opened it. It should be I opened it. It was private, but now I opened
I'll just tell Dad, try again. He just texted me. Sorry.
It's okay.
I really want him to see this.
Do you see the chat in the side of our video there?
I see private chat, yeah.
Yes, click on that, and then you can see that, and you and I can communicate that way.
Hang on, Dad just said he's on here now. Hey, Dad, he's on here now. My dad's name is Raj. Yeah, hey, Dad. I can't get my face on here. I'll try. We can't figure it out.
No names.
Oh,
okay.
I said shoot.
It's okay. That's all right. You're good. Relax.
Hey, Dad, this is Aaron, and I know he can see you now. He just texted me. So he's on.
Hi, Dad. So another thing that they don't, they want our family members to be ashamed of us and to separate themselves from us. It's one of the biggest things that they do, is like conquer and divide, basically. So, and for instance, my family, it took a minute for my family to come around and be like, wait a minute. No. Aaron wouldn't do A, B, C, or D. That didn't happen. And most families don't come around. They just think, oh, CPS is involved, so that's a bad parent. And families don't know that that's not the case. That's not how it is. And instead of judging and being critical of your family member that's going through it, just give them a hug. If that's all you can give, and that's the only help that you can give, is a shoulder to cry on. And it's seriously, sometimes it's the best thing for you, because like I said, we are not allowed to speak. We can't speak up when they take our children from us. We can't speak up in a visit. We're not allowed to tell our children what happened or why they're separated from mommy and daddy or grandma and grandpa. So I believe that if you're going to take my child, I should at least have a voice in the situation. And since I don't, I have a show to give parents a voice like you. Yeah. So why don't you tell me what happened? Let's just talk about the initial removal. Don't go anywhere else.
I don't know.
Let's just talk about the first thing. That's right.
Where do you want to start, Aaron? Like, where do you want me to start?
The day your children were removed. What happened that day?
Okay, so the
case right now. The case right now.
The day that this started, I called the cops because I was getting death threats from my ex-husband and his drug dealer. Mm-hmm. And he is addicted to meth. My ex-husband is. I don't do drugs, okay? Everybody knows that knows me. They came and arrested me and manhandled me in front of my daughter. They were just on their swing set in the backyard, which is fenced in. And they came and kicked my door in and manhandled me in front of my daughter. My son, thank God, not Mason, Lennox didn't see it. But I forgot, I'm not supposed to say names.
It's okay.
Anyway, they took me to jail, and I kept asking them, why are y'all taking me to jail? What are my charges? Like, I don't know what's going on. And they finally told me for child endangerment charges.
Wait a minute.
And I'm in my home.
So they came to your house.
Yes, ma'am.
And they used excessive force to arrest you in front of your little ones.
Yes, ma'am. In front of Ava, what? In front of my daughter, not.
It's okay. Take a breath. It's okay. I say Lola's name all the time because I'm not in dependency court anymore.
In front of my daughter, not in front of my son.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes, it's fine. If you have nicknames, you can use. It's hard because I do it all the time, and even when I was in dependency court, I was still saying my daughter's name because that's my child, So I started calling her by her nickname, which is Dibby. So, but now that I'm not there anymore, I talk about my child a lot. And Lola actually helped me write a how-to guide manual thing for children, a children's book. But I just don't want your children to be retaliated on, and that's why I say no names.
The cops lied. So let me get back on the story. The cops lied and said that my daughter opened the door and I was passed out, and that's not true at all. Yeah. And so they came through my back gate and then opened my back door into my bedroom. You know, I have 2 doors. So basically an open concept home. And he came in, he goes, you know, you're incapacitated. I said, no, I'm not. And yeah, and they're claiming I had a bottle of vodka on my nightstand. No, I didn't.
Well, first of all, alcohol is not illegal, so I don't understand why they're acting like it's heroin. Like you had a needle sticking out of your arm.
Right.
You know, but also at the same time, it's like, you know, it's not illegal to have a bottle of vodka on my dresser.
Even
so
if
why are
was,
you forcing your way?
Me, Aaron, they never asked me for a breathalyzer or any blood work while I was in jail. Nothing.
Right, because you weren't operating a vehicle.
My bail bondsman doesn't even care if I ever call him. How am I operating a vehicle? He's on his 3rd DWI, and they gave the kids to him, and he got his 3rd DWI during this time.
Right. No. But what I'm saying is, why would they give you a breathalyzer or take any lab work? You're not operating a vehicle. So
why didn't they ask for one?
Because Aaron? They don't care. They don't care. They're looking for whatever they can use to stick. Throw everything on the wall and see what sticks. That's what they do.
Well, they didn't ask for one. I bailed myself out of jail. I got out.
No, why would they?
And my kids were in foster care. And
well,
then he ignored my order. Remember the order?
Wait a minute. Slow down.
All right.
So your children are removed.
Yep.
Right. And they were not placed with family. Was family given the option to place?
No, we were. My mother wasn't even given the option, and she had them through our last CPS case that was withdrawn on.
Hold on 1 second. I think it's the police department calling me. Hold on.
Oh hell, that sucks.
Hello, this is Aaron. Yes, I'm doing a live show.
I wish I could have my face on here because my dad's listening.
Yes, I am. If you text me, I can answer you by text because I'm like, say hi.
Hey, she's on a live right now.
No, they can't hear you. All right, so I'll answer you by text, but I'll talk to you. I'll call you back when I'm done. Okay, bye. Okay. Bye. Sorry, so it was a client.
I know, that's live, right? For us.
And okay. So typically I don't do that, but whenever the police call me or the court calls me, I know it's Sunday, it comes up a certain way, like no caller ID or something.
Yeah.
And so I answer it because I've missed the police calling me like 4 or 5 times. Anyways, so your children were removed.
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
Did they have a warrant to remove your children?
No,
and
they
place
had no
them into
warrant.
foster care?
There was no warrant. No warrant either. They immediately filed it in the court and made me go to ECATA. ECATA in Texas is a whole different story. So basically, they had my kids gone in a foster home in Oklahoma.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how far is Oklahoma from where you are? Because they're not supposed to place the child. In California, it's like
3 hours
miles
away, something like that. Like, I don't know. Don't get me lying.
So what the thing is that when they place your children, they're supposed to place them. So it's the most.
They should have placed them with my mother, and they just did a home study last 2 weeks ago.
Of course they should have, but they won't get their funding, so they don't. But as far as the initial removal and seizure, and your visit, so they're supposed to accommodate you. They're supposed to make it
I only get 2 hours a week on Wednesdays. That's all I get. That's all I get.
That was how I was.
Yeah, because they're saying I asked the home or the caseworker, like I go to the park now with my kids every Wednesday for 2 hours, and she's like, I need to walk. I had someone at Walmart that said that I saw you working out the other day, and I'm like, did you say it was at a visit? You know? You know what I mean? And she goes, I said, so how come I can't get 2 more hours? She goes, she, quote unquote, she said no, absolutely no.
Okay,
To
so
my
first
mother
things
and to
first.
me.
First things first is they don't get to dictate how long your visits are, how much you have. The court does. So if you finish all of your services, they're supposed to be increasing your visits. They never did once,
Everything's
but
done. Everything
wait,
is
wait,
done.
let me
Besides
finish.
Clay, my ex-husband will not. I'm
Hey,
sorry, Aaron. I'm so sorry.
it's
I
okay.
think
Stop
there's a like
apologizing.
a drag or a lag, whatever you call it. No, my
Um,
ex-husband said their last service is for him to do co-parenting with me, and he won't. He's refusing it. So I can't do anything else.
um, listen. So what I was going to say is, um, when you're doing your services, they're supposed to be increasing your visitation. You're
I
supposed to
went to
get
rehab.
to
I
wait, wait,
know.
wait,
I
wait,
went to
wait,
rehab
wait,
for
wait,
a month. I know. I know.
wait, wait,
I know.
wait, wait, wait. So it's not up to them to decide if you get them or not. If the court has ordered an X amount of visits, they must comply. And if you don't, you can take them to court. You can also take them to court to um, increase your visits
That's what we've
because
done. That's what we've
you've
done, Aaron. We
completed.
filed for a jury trial.
I know. I'm going to come see you in Texas, but um, the point is not just for you; it's for other parents that are listening as well. You can ask for more time if the judge orders may say a 3 hour minimum visit, and then it is left up to your social worker to give you those hours. They must give them to you, but you can go back and petition the
They've
court and
denied me
say,
those hours. They've denied me those hours.
okay, so they
And
have to make them
I've
up.
completed everything. Everything. Like literally checklist done. And I have it all typed up in my computer. I can show you.
Hold on a second. Vicky, I do help people outside of the state. Actually, I have helped people outside of the country. I help people in Wales, London, South America, South Africa. So just email me your information, but I do. And AW is in Texas and I'm in LA. So as soon as I get my
I'm in
subpoena,
Cruel East Texas.
and as soon as get my subpoena, I will be going to that county in Texas.
Yeah.
Um, but hey, Lawrence, I see you. Yeah,
I don't see your skin. Like what the hell?
what?
I don't see that stuff.
Anyways, so your child, you were the police entered your home. You were forcefully, you were
Yes.
forced down to the ground, excessive force in front of your children. Your children were taken.
My daughter.
Your daughter was taken without a warrant,
No, in
placed
front of
directly into
my
foster
daughter
care.
saw it. They took my daughter and my son and wouldn't even tell me why I was being arrested. I had no idea.
They
No
don't. They
clue.
don't.
And
And the
they
reason they
wouldn't tell me
didn't,
until I got to jail. And I'm like, okay, the
the
hell am
reason
I
they
being
didn't
arrested
do it,
for?
the reason they didn't breathalyze you is because you would have not, you come back negative,
I would
and
have
then you
came
have a
back
whole
negative.
nother, you would have a whole nother lawsuit on your hands as aside of this one.
Well,
So
and they were
you
also
have,
trying to take my earrings out of my ears. Like, what the hell?
that's
Like, it was just
ridiculous.
crazy. I'm like, I'm not drunk. Like, why don't y'all just prove it? You know? I even asked them for an alcohol test, and they wouldn't give one to me.
Alcohol is not illegal, so I don't know why they are treating you like it
Well,
is.
it's been
But
13 months. I'll tell you that. 13 months. And it's affected my entire family.
it will have permanent traumatic effects on you and your entire family forever.
Yeah, it has.
Ever.
And
There's no getting over it. You learn how to maintain, you learn how to deal with, but you don't ever actually heal from it.
no, never. No,
And
not
they
at
don't
all.
take that into consideration.
They
Now
don't
tell
give a
me
shit.
about your trial.
So
Why? Because a lot of
here's
parents
what,
don't get there. Remember, I told you on the phone that the
yeah,
courts can say no to
yeah.
your request. So a lot of parents don't get to have a trial. So
So here's
Why don't you tell them
here's
and
where we
me?
are. I work full time, so I'm a working woman, a businesswoman, and what my court appointed attorney decided to do, and he said he's never taken another court appointed case ever again. He's going to take my case, and we have jury trial come May, like I believe the 17th, somewhere around there, and he has a pretty easy case, basically on a silver platter. And a lot of people, I've had court appointed attorneys before, and a lot of people talk, can I say crap?
Yeah.
Crap about them. But so far, so good.
Oh, my public defender was phenomenal. Some of the best attorneys I've ever met are public defenders. You just have to learn how to redirect them and refocus them. But some of the best ones I've ever met were public defenders, and some of the crappiest ones I've ever met were privately hired. So don't just think that just because they're a public defender that they're bad.
So I
Because that's not
started,
true.
Aaron, I started this thing. I started a Dropbox, and they love that shit. Oh, I can't say that. They love Dropbox, and that way you can upload, like as soon as you see something, you can upload it and put it straight into that Dropbox, and that lawyer sees it. Can't say they didn't, can they?
No. No. I'm actually working on an app kind of like that, but I'm not going to say too much. But so what made you say I want to go to trial?
So I didn't actually make that decision. My court appointed attorney made that decision. He made that decision. He said, and then if we don't win, so let's say I get, custodial or whatever, we're gonna appeal it, and then I have to pay him. Which I make very low income. So
wait a minute. So say that again. You cut out. So you are why are you having a trial? What
my lawyer set the trial.
Right, but did something happen in your case where you're like, this is ridiculous, we need to have a trial?
Yes. Okay. I know where you're going with this. The judge was completely dirty on me and just liked I can't say names. Liked him, hated me, used things from the past that were like 15 years old and stuff like that. The judge was going against us, so my lawyer, my court appointed attorney, I want to say his name so bad, but just I can't. Okay. He's the one that set the jury trial, and it's coming here in 2 weeks.
That's a good thing.
I have pre-trial on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing. I've not been indicted for anything.
No. The fact that your attorney is setting this for a trial and requesting a trial means that you do have a good attorney. Now, if you are in dependency court and you need to get, not you, AW, but just in general, if you, hi Leah, if you need a new public defender, you have to have a Marsden hearing. They can't just say, oh, I don't want to deal with her anymore. Like, you have to have a hearing about it, and you have to have a new public defender put in place. So remember that. And you can also request to have a hearing if your public defender is not defending you to the best possible outcome.
He's actually defending me very well. I'm a really
yes. As far as I can tell, you have a pretty great attorney because what you've
already talked to him, haven't you?
No. I'm just saying by what you're telling me sounds pretty great. But if other people need to do that, then they need to have a hearing. And you also can complain to the Bar Association in your local area. And then you can also complain to the judicial board in your local area if you have a judge that seems biased.
Yeah, well, the bar is nothing, like literally nothing.com.
No, just go to the Bar Association website and there's a complaint
form. I did with Bo Sinclair. I said his name. Oops. Oh, wait.
I just don't want to get sued.
You're exactly right. Everything you're saying is right.
So
and my dad's listening too, so he'll get on my ass in a minute.
No. I just don't want anyone being sued, and I don't want your children hurt or retaliate. I don't want you to get retaliation because, as we saw between just you and me last night, I'm not going to mention, but that's going to increase. And I wanted to tell parents, and you can attest to this, that when you complain and you make a scene and you stand up for yourself and you stand up for your constitutional rights, the county doesn't like it. They will retaliate. They retaliate against me when I was fighting back. They will make life harder for you. So you snap and give them a reason for their bad behavior. So don't do it.
Yeah. Haven't.
No, you know, you did very good last night.
Too. I know you're right too, because he keeps posting. He wore my shirt the other day and posted a picture of it. Like, and it's just like he just wants me to react, and I'm not going to do it.
You know, I deleted my social media while I was in the middle of dependency court because I didn't want to look, because it hurts too much to see my children's faces or my child's face up when I couldn't be with her. And I knew that they were going to try to trigger me as a mama.
I'm sorry. Hey, Aaron, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
What happened?
I don't know. I just was telling you I'm sorry. That's hard.
Oh, okay. I thought like something happened with your equipment, but so I deleted it, and I didn't want them to accuse me of cyber stalking or cyber bullying or anything like that, which they did, but I had already deleted my social media. So they couldn't use it against me. And actually Leah in the chat is a client of mine, and the court ordered me to be I'm a court ordered advocate now for her child, which is pretty awesome. And I sat in on their CFT meetings, and they literally stopped their overnights because Leah is fighting for her children, because she brought an outside expert, which is me, in to help with reunification. Well, if you're about reunification and I'm about reunification, why are you having an issue with Aaron coming in and sitting here and making
it's funny that we have that same thing in common, because even if the court had some kind of warrant, which they did not, they took my kids and they filed against me for what's it called, permanent rights or permanency or whatever the hell it is.
They're trying to take your parental rights away.
Yeah, and then they want to turn this into a custody battle, and that's not what CBS is supposed to be for. And that's a problem.
Right. Well, that's what they tried to do with my case as well. They tried to give. They were certain that Mario, my ex, was going to be getting custody, and they let him move and they let him do all kinds of stuff that they're not supposed to. And when trial came, I didn't lose my custody. I left court with 50-50 custody, and they were pissed.
So how can they give us 50-50, me and my ex-husband, when it's completely against the orders for him to even be around the kids before he...
You just do drop-offs at the police station.
We don't have adjacent counties.
You just do drop-offs. So you can have physical custody, and then you can have, like custody. So you can share with your ex, and if there's a restraining order, what have you, then you do pickups and drop-offs at the police station. You have somebody, a middleman.
No, every drop-off was supposed to be the police station, but he never even took his first. He was on the TIR program. He never took the first drug test and went and try to see the kids. So they arrested me.
Right, and that's something that your lawyer is going to have to look into, which should not be happening. And CPS does whatever they want until they're held accountable, and the only way to stop them is to sue them. That's the only thing they listen to is
exactly.
Money.
Who the hell do I get to sue them?
There are a lot of attorneys that do pro bono work. There's you just have to go to your local bar website association, and there should be a list.
I've already talked to them about the lawyer before this.
There should be a list of pro bono attorneys and low cost attorneys on the website for the entire state. Just like you can complain there. Yeah, just like you can make a complaint with the bar association, because they're the ones that will pull their license to practice law.
Well, what if they deny your grievance?
Then that's it. You can just move on to the next grievance, because like me and you, I'm sure that there's several, not just one or two little ones. I'm sure there's several grievances that you can address.
This will be the second one.
Mm.
It's a hard deal, but I just know that there's a lot of parents out there. Back to what we were initially talking about, that are missing their kids today, just like me. I cried and I cried and I cried. It was really hard.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my favorite holidays, and I hope those parents out there know that it's not the end of the road. I guess that's the way I could say it.
Right. Well, it's I stopped celebrating holidays altogether until now. I'm not in dependency court anymore. I'm being kept from my child because my ex is bitter and is trying to control custody and alimony, and so he is using the court system to alienate me and my daughter. So I have a little bit of a different journey than you do, or a lot of you right now, but I was in dependency court and I missed holidays with my child, and I missed, all the stuff that leads up to not like say Christmas, no baking cookies, none of this stuff. And so I just decided to stop celebrating. And I remember walking into stores, and I did it yesterday, and seeing Easter basket stuff and starting to cry.
Yeah, me
and
too.
and hearing someone say mama, and I don't know how many times I turned around, and if I hear a
Yeah,
baby cry still,
that's hard.
it makes me cry.
Yeah.
It's trauma that we never ever get over, and it's unnecessary. There's new data out there that says they have proven that it does more damage to a child to remove them from an abusive home than to leave them. The removal process is more traumatic and lifelong trauma than to leave them in an abusive household. Now, I'm not saying that for extreme cases of sexual abuse and stuff like that, but they're supposed to come in and offer you your services before they remove your children. Your parenting classes, your drug classes, your domestic violence. They're supposed to do that before you go to court and before they take your child, which they never do.
Therefore, they have a real big problem right now.
It's all over the country. It's not just where you are. It's mine too. So what they're supposed to do is offer services first, because the removal of our children is so goddamn traumatic that there's a reason for services, is to keep the child in the home. And when they don't do the services, that's when you're supposed to remove the child. It's not supposed to say interview, removal, court date, and then services. It's supposed to be the other way around, but it's not.
No, it didn't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
I can tell you that right now. It didn't work like that.
Until enough people stand up and file suit, then it's not going to change. Because until those who are unaffected,
so what are we supposed to do, Erin? So what are we supposed to do?
We sue them. We change law. We vote differently. There's a lot of little things that we can do. Letter writing. Everyone's like, oh, that's not going to do anything. Well, one letter might not, but 1,000 letters might get some attention.
Yeah.
1,000 phone calls might get some attention. So, but the only way to get actual change to happen is to vote differently. We need to be very, very diligent on our local elections, not the national election. Our local election, our judges, our community people. So that you need to take change.
Okay, me voting against one judge is not going to make a difference.
No, but 100 people.
But I'm just saying.
100 people. You never know. Your vote might be the one to tip the scales and to get rid of him. So that's why it's so much more important to vote locally than it is nationally, to vote for a president, as because until our electoral college is restructured, then we're going to keep voting in office the person that didn't win the real vote. So, the popular person or whatever. Anyways, I'm not going to go on that rant. So
I know, let's not get into politics.
What my point is the fact that our presidential election, everyone's like, oh, I voted. Yes, but did you vote in your city? Did you vote in your county? Did you vote in your state? Do you know who our Congress people are? Do you know who our senators are? That kind of stuff. Do you know who's sitting on the bench in your county?
I agree. Those
are the people. Those are the people. Those are our lawmakers. That's how we get change, is we vote out people that are cool with child trafficking and kidnapping.
I don't think any of us are cool with that.
Oh, everyone is because no one's saying anything.
Fucked up.
You know, until
That's
those,
messed up.
until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are affected, we will not
Well,
see
I'll
any
tell you
change.
something right now. And I know he's listening because he texts me. My father's listening right now, and he lives in West Texas, almost at the Mexican border. And he has certain values and views.
My uncle was in Del Rio.
Well, he's in Pecos County. Dad, I just called you out. He's listening, and there have been a few that he's came into, I guess, exposure with. I guess is the best way to say it. And they just wanted water and a phone charger, and he gave them both, and he called the cops and sent him back. Oh, here's Dad. Anyways, Dad did what an American is supposed to do, and to me, our rights are not covered if we're not doing what we're supposed to do. And I think you and I, ma'am, what'd you say? I think part of our rights is under the Constitution. So,
well, the Constitution, it protects us as a family. Our family unit is constitutionally protected, and it should be constitutional. That's why when your children are removed, you know the child can sue under the Fourth Amendment. You can sue under the 14th Amendment. But we need to take the money out of the equation. They're making way too much money taking in foster kids. There's too many bonuses. The financials need to change.
I agree. I agree completely. They literally put my kids in a foster care several times, and CPS also withdrew a case on me that they made me go through for a whole entire year. So, when they withdrew on me, I could have sued the hell out of them. Let's just be real, but I didn't. And here they are again, like hoping they can get through this case with me. And I filed for a jury trial, and here we go next week, or next 2 weeks, actually.
Right. So can you see our chat?
No.
Okay, click on the private chat.
I have people texting me though. I'm like, I don't know what y'all are saying.
So I'm gonna have to I have to cut this a little bit short today, about 10 minutes. I have an emergency with a client.
Okay.
She went to go pick up
Holy
her child.
moly. Oh my god, how do I save all this stuff?
So I'm gonna cut it short here, but you and me are going to continue on another day. Yeah. But if you guys need to get a hold of me, please just email me at aaroncarranza247@gmail.com or here on Facebook. AW is going to be an advocate for me once I get my company up and running. She's going to be a parent advocate. Sorry, there's a kid in the hallway of this hotel having a meltdown.
And my dad's listening, so let's just tell him bye.
Bye, Dad. Also, I do help families. If families have any questions, parents, grandparents, you can have them contact me because nobody really knows what's going on in this case. Everyone looks down on you, and that's not something that should happen. So
yeah, it kind of puts you in a pickle, does it not? It kind of puts you.
No, they want you alone and isolated, and because you're easier to.
And it's very mentally stabilizing. Like you definitely feel alone. I'll say that.
And yeah, then that's what they want you to feel is alone, and you're not alone.
Yeah, we're not alone.
Even if you have me on a video screen, I'm here for you. So
yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry to cut this short, guys.
Happy Easter, everybody! And you're not alone.
No, you're not. See you later, Dad. Thanks for tuning in and supporting your daughter. That's really awesome. And we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye, Aaron.
Bye.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.